Someone set fire to the greatest library in human history, and we still don't know who. I've stood in the ruins of cities where knowledge died in ash. But Alexandria wasn't destroyed in a single moment. That's the lie we inherit. The library burned over centuries, in pieces, by different hands, and each fire took something from us we can never get back. Let me rewind to the beginning. Around 300 BCE, Ptolemy II built a library in Alexandria, Egypt. Not just any library, this was the Mauseon, a temple to the Muses. It held somewhere between 400,000 and 700,000 scrolls. We don't have exact numbers. That's already a problem. The scholars there didn't just collect, they hunted. Agents traveled the Mediterranean buying manuscripts, copying texts, hoarding knowledge like it was currency. Because it was. Egypt became the intellectual center of the ancient world. Everything flowed through Alexandria. Then the fires started. The first major one came around 48 BCE when Julius Caesar's forces fought for control of the harbor. I've read accounts Caesar's men torched Egyptian ships. The fire spread inland. Thousands of scrolls burned, but not all. The library survived, damaged but breathing. But here's what most people miss. The real destruction wasn't military. It was bureaucratic. In 391 C, the Roman Emperor Theodosius issued a decree banning pagan worship. Alexandria's library, tied to pagan philosophy and the old gods, became a target, not of conquest, of ideology. A mob, some accounts say led by religious zealots, stormed the library. They didn't steal the scrolls, they destroyed them, not for resources or strategy, for belief. I've seen this pattern before. When ideology burns books, it's personal in a way that warfare never is. What was lost? We have fragments. A few thousand scrolls survived in monasteries or private collections. But the gaps, those gaps haunt scholarship still. How many plays did Sophocles write? We have 7. Ancient sources say over 120. We're missing 113 works. Mathematics, medicine, astronomy, engineering. The Greeks and Egyptians developed knowledge we wouldn't rediscover for 1,000 years. Some of it we never rediscovered at all. We don't even know what we don't know. That's the real cost. But here's where this matters to you now, in 2024. Alexandria teaches us something brutal about knowledge. It's fragile. It requires protection. Not from armies, from neglect, from ideology, from the assumption that what we have will always be here. The Stoics understood this. Epictetus, who lived after Alexandria burned, taught that we control only our judgments and our actions. We don't control what others destroy. But we do control whether we preserve, whether we remember, whether we pass things on. Alexandria didn't die because it was weak. It died because power, political power, religious power, decided it was expendable. The library held ideas that threatened the order of things, so the order burned it down. We live in a different age. We have the internet, we have redundancy, we have backups. Except, and I've covered enough collapses to know this, we also have centralization. One company owns your data. One platform controls your access. One algorithm decides what you see. The question isn't whether another Alexandria could burn. It's whether we're building the conditions for it to happen again, just digitally. Are we preserving diverse sources of knowledge? Are we protecting intellectual freedom? Or are we concentrating power so much that one decision, one decree, could silence everything? The Stoics couldn't save Alexandria, but they left us something better, a framework for what matters, not the library itself, the commitment to truth, the discipline to seek it, the courage to preserve it even when power says you shouldn't. That's not nostalgia, it's strategy. When you understand what Alexandria lost, you start to see what you're responsible for preserving. Not just information, wisdom. Not just data, meaning. The kind of knowledge that makes you less reactive, more deliberate, more human. We can't rebuild Alexandria, but we can choose not to burn what we have. That choice, that daily choice to seek, to preserve, to share what you learn, that's where the power is now. Subscribe for more essays on ancient wisdom and how it shapes the choices we make today.